Hey guys, welcome back to Raise Create Cards. I hope everyone's having a good week. So y'all know that I do still work a little bit outside the home, and I wasn't able to get a video announcement uploaded before today. At the time I'm recording this, it is Thursday, the 15th of December. I'm going to go ahead and release this video today, which means that there will not be a video for 8 o'clock on Friday morning. But I'm going to go ahead and release it a little bit early because today is free shipping only with Stampin' Up! If your order is $75 retail before taxes, okay? Normally we tell you, that if you spend 50 or more or whatever before shipping and taxes, but there is no shipping. So before taxes, your order has to be at least $75, okay? And then you will get the free shipping, which is an awesome deal. I mean, it really is. I wish I could tell you I was putting another order in today, but right now I've just got some other priorities I have got to take care of. But I did want to go ahead and pass that on to you. Many other demonstrators are also putting out the word, so I hope that you already knew about this, okay? All right, so I got my pre-order in actually a couple of days before I thought I was going to get it. I actually did not expect it until yesterday, but it came Monday, 2 days before it said it was going to be here. And so I wanted to share some DSP that coordinates with a stamp and die bundle that is coming up in the new catalog. Some of you already have your new catalogs. You've already been able to kind of get a sneak peek, but still, there's nothing better than seeing it up close and personal, okay? So the name of this DSP is Fancy Flora. It is 6x6 paper. You get 48 sheets. You get 4 of each pattern, and you're going to be so happy that you got 4 of each pattern. This DSP is going to coordinate with the two-tone Flora. Now, could you use this with other stamp sets? Oh, absolutely. In fact, I plan on it. But here is the stamp set. And again, you can see it is two-step stamping. Which is why it is photopolymer, so you can easily see. And of course, yep, I've already been playing with mine. I got in here yesterday and I got to play with it a little bit. And so what I came up with is what I want to share with you today. Just a super easy fun fold, okay? Now, I'm just going to leave this laying here so you can kind of have a bird's eye view of the stamps as we look at the dies. La la! Isn't that gorgeous? What a gorgeous, gorgeous cover plate die. It is so pretty. In fact, this was the first thing I played with yesterday. And I didn't do just a really hot job on the card that I made with it. But this was the card I came up with. I took a piece of that Fancy Flora DSP for the background. I cut it out of basic white. I stamped off some Calypso coral for the main body of the flower, and then I used straight up coral for the detail. And I used the Beautiful Shapes dies to do this for the happy birthday, okay? So I thought that came out really nice. I did have to kind of tweak it a little bit when all was said and done, but that's okay. If you would like to see a video about how to use this cover plate, and I will tell you something else I did, and I didn't throw it away. Well, once I got done making this card, I thought, wow, okay, because the very first one that I cut, I didn't cut it very well. I didn't have my cardstock cut the way it should have been, and so I had this piece left over, and I thought, well, I wonder if I could use that for a stencil. And so, like, it took seconds, okay? I just took it and laid it over a piece of basic white, and I only took the two colors. I took the Evening Evergreen and the Calypso Coral, and as you can tell, I didn't really make sure that I had it down really well and really flat. I think I would use masking paper if I was going to try to make a stencil out of this, and or at least cut it out of something that is a lot more rigid. And I thought, well, okay, I see the effects, even though it'll make you look like your eyeballs have gone wonky, okay? So I didn't do a hot up job, but I just very quickly, because I knew they were destined for the trash, and I just wanted to see if that would be a cute background. And yes, it would be. And then this area right here, absolutely die cut a flower and pop over the top of it, okay? I will try to develop a better method for doing that. And if I can do that before Christmas, I'll come back and we'll have a video on that too. But anyway, that was the first one I wanted to play with. And so here, there is a outline die cut for every flower. Okay, you've got one for this one for this one for this one for this one. You have a die cut for your foliage, and you have a die cut for the leaves. So there is just about a die cut for all of them except those little tiny little fill stamps. So this would be an excellent set too to make your own DSP with. It'd be awesome. It'd be very pretty. Something I've been wanting to do, just haven't gotten around to doing that. So this is the star of the show. And if you haven't already heard, or if you don't have your catalog and you haven't figured it out yet, two-tone Flora stamp set, two-tone Flora dies. So Stampin' Up! Is now calling the dies and the stamp set the same, which is awesome. It's going to make it so much easier to remember, right? Now, I'm not going to say that about the DSP, the fancy Flora, but at least it's easier to remember two different names than three, right? All right, so I went through, and hopefully I did pick out one of each pattern. I hope I did, but I just wanted to show you. So what they have done is they have took acrylics and done this, and it is just drop dead gorgeous. And let me tell you, you're going to be glad you have 4 sheets of each one, because looky there. Even the back side is so pretty. And I didn't even tell you guys the colors that they are using in this DSP. So let me very quickly kind of open my little packet here that I have them in so I can see through it. So you have Balmy Blue, Basic Gray, Calypso Coral, Daffodil Delight, Evening Evergreen, Fresh Freesia, Night of Navy, Orchid Oasis, Pool Party, Soft Seafoam, Soft Suede, and Soft Succulent. What a palette, right? You are bound to have coordinating ink and cardstock. Somewhere in here, you'll be able to use it. Isn't that beautiful? I'm loving this paper. And I really like this. I could see this for a sympathy card, but I could also see it for an anniversary card. I love this. I love how they put that soft suede in there, and you would not think that would make a pretty floral pattern, but oh, it does. And then look there. Awesome. And I'm loving this. And every time I see this one, I think of spring and rain showers that we get in the spring. I don't know why that invokes that in me, but it does. Look at that. And guys, you can turn these patterns, a lot of these patterns, you can just pretty well turn them any way you want to turn them and do your card, right? Or cards. All right, and then we have a hint of that Daffodil Delight. And Daffodil Delight with the Calypso Coral on the back. And then here's this one. So I really liked how they did this, because if you wanted more muted background with just a little bit of color, you could do that. If you wanted a lot of color, you could do that too. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Pay attention because this is going to be one of the patterns that we use in today's card. And here we have this one. Isn't that gorgeous? But the texture and the way this was printed, you almost feel like you can just reach out and touch that dried acrylic paint. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm loving this. Beautiful, beautiful. And here's this one. And we're almost there. How pretty. Who doesn't like yellow and gray together? That is so pretty. And then this very festive one. It's got a lot of balmy blue going on with the purples and the Daffodil Delight. Look at that. Isn't that neat? I guarantee you, you will not regret buying this pack of paper. This is awesome. Even if you don't, for whatever reason, don't like the stamp set, don't want the dies, you can absolutely use this with a host of products. So don't be thinking that you can't order this DSP just because you don't want the stamps and the dies, because this paper is so universal and so gorgeous. All right, so what we are going to do today, let me show you the card first. I don't know what to call it other than it's an easy fun fold, okay? And I decided to make it a birthday card, and I wasn't concerned about whether I made it look like winter or whatever. I thought any time of the year, these colors will work, all right? So here we go. What do you think, guys? It is so simple and so easy to put together, okay? So we're going to do that real quick. And so what I have here is I have taken Calypso Coral, and the largest piece is 8 1/4 by 4 1/4, okay? We are going to score this at 5 1/2. And get my trimmer over here that's also got the score blade on it. Try to make sure I am in camera. And so we're going to go to 5 1/2 and do that one score, and that's it, just one. Easy peasy, right? We'll lay that to the side. And this piece here is 8 inches by 3 inches, okay? And we're going to score it in half at 4 inches. So we're going to go to 4 inches and just score that. There we go. All right. That's the bulk of your card. Now, the only other thing that we need to do, and I'm just going to lay those right there for the minute. The only other thing I need to do is go ahead and prep my pieces of DSP. So, I want to take, now we're going to be using some of this pattern, yes, but we're also going to be using the back side, okay? And so I want to cut this piece 5 1/4 by 4 inches. So we're going to go to 5 1/4. We're going to get that. And I can use that somewhere else. As a matter of fact, had I had time, I wanted to take my scraps from the first card and make a card out of the scraps and show you that too. Guys, I just didn't have time. I'm so sorry. Maybe next time. I think we're all under the gun. I'm going to try to get through this as quick as I can because everybody is super, super busy and you don't have time to sit this time of the year and watch really long videos, okay? All right, so I want 2 pieces of DSP that are 4 by 2 1/2. So I am taking this pattern, and I'm really not even being particular how I move it, turn it, whatever. It is just that gorgeous. All right, so I have got the 4 inches, and now I need 2 1/2 twice. Let me get my ink pad was in the way. Okay, so here's one, and then this one at 2 1/2. And, all right, that took care of that. So we've got these two. We're going to lay those to the side. And now I have got, where's my other piece? Did I not take it out? Did I not? Well, I wonder if I'm going to end up ad-libbing and using something I hadn't used before. So, okay, we need 2 more pieces of DSP that are 3 3/4 by 2 3/4, and I'm going to use this. So we're going to go 3 3/4 by 2 3/4, and we need 2 of those. There's 2 3/4, 2 3/4. There we go. All right, now we've got all of our pieces. So now let's get ready and start assembling. Okay, I'm going to take the smallest piece that we cut, 8 by 3, and scored at 4 inches. And I'm just going to go ahead and fold it over and give that a quick burnish with my bone folder. Both sides. There we go. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's the same. It's the same. The one thing you want to remember about the smaller piece, we're used to opening things this way. You want it backwards. You want the fold on the right-hand side this time, okay? So I'm going to take this and attach one of those that we just cut. And put that down on there. I had to go and get another bottle of Tombow because, yeah, I finally did run out, guys. That poor little glue bottle, I mean, it just went and went and went. And it was all went up. All right. Let's get this on here. Hopefully I can get it on there straight and with even borders. And this is going to be the main focal point, really, of your card is this smaller piece. Now, I took, because this is soft seafoam, I took a piece of soft seafoam cardstock. If you have not seen the beautiful shape dies, they've been around for a while. They're not brand new. They are in the annual catalog. I didn't have them. I didn't have them because I really didn't realize I needed them or how versatile they were. There is a stamp set in the new mini catalog, if you haven't seen it yet, that these dies coordinate with. Of course, you also have that set in the annual catalog that these were made to coordinate with. So if you've already got these, hey, you're ahead of the game, okay? And I simply took, I'm going to call it an oval. I'm not real sure, but it's just a pretty decorative shape. I'm sure there's a technical term for it somewhere. Don't know. Now, I didn't just cut it out of one layer. I took and cut 2 more layers of white cardstock and put it behind it. When we are sometimes getting ready to maybe mail a card, or maybe we don't have dimensionals, or maybe we're low on dimensionals, and so we're kind of hoarding them. That is a good way to give lots of heft and kind of make your greeting meaty. I'm not real sure how to pronounce that, but before we start attaching that, we do want to go ahead and put a piece on the inside. And so we're going to get that other piece that we cut. And again, you know, it doesn't matter how you turn it. For the sake of this, before we put that in, I do have a sentiment that I want to put on the inside. Now, I've been using Peaceful Moments a lot lately, and I'm using it again in this video because that's where the happy birthday came from. And then on the inside, I want to put wishing you every happiness a special day will bring. So, I've already got it pre-mounted. Hopefully, I've got it mounted straight. We'll find out, right? And I have my Evening Evergreen, which is one of the colors in the card that we are putting together. I want to make sure I'm inked up really well. I think my ink pad is starting to get just a little... Let's make sure my cardstock is straight. That helps a whole lot. And then hopefully I'm going to stamp it straight, but if I don't, we're going with it. Okay, let me hold that for just a second. Bring that up. Okay, not bad. Not bad. May not be perfect, but it's not bad. All right, I'm going to put my green away. And I am going to stamp off as much of that ink as I can before I clean it. For some reason, I don't know if you guys are that way or not. I have a knack for getting the ink where I'm not supposed to, but then when I'm trying to get rid of the bulk of it, it doesn't ever seem to want to come off as easy as I got it on there. So I'm just going to use my stamping scrub real quick to get the worst of that off and lay that to the side. All right, now at this point, we can go ahead and glue this in here. But this is really easy to put together, guys. It really is. I don't know. Would you call it a fun flap? I've seen some fun fold cards out there that once I started making them, it was like, yeah, maybe not so much. But this one is really cute, really simple. It doesn't take a ton of stuff to put it together. And I think that Evening Evergreen ink showed up really well on there. Okay, let's go ahead and put this to the side. I don't want to glue all that down just yet. Now we're going back to our bigger piece, which is 8 1/4 by 4, and we scored it at 5 1/2. And I'm just going to go ahead and burnish this. I actually folded it the wrong way. That was my valley. Yeah, I really want to fold it this way. Sorry. I should have looked before I started folding, and I didn't. But that's okay. All right. So there we go. And now we do want this on the traditional left-hand side. And so one of these that we cut 2 1/2 by 4, it's going to put it on the front. Yeah, this paper is two-sided. And most of the patterns really do coordinate extra well with each other to where you can just flip it over and use the other side. Okay. I got that straight. That could be a little straighter. There we go. Maybe, oh, I got a little bit of glue. I knew with that brand new glue bottle, I'd probably get too happy with the Tombow, and I did. So let me get that up. I actually think it's easier to get the glue up before it dries. Now I feel a little bit right there. Well, I'm determined to get it. Okay. All right, Christmas is going to be here before we know it, guys. And then the other piece is going to go on this side, right there. And again, this paper is so pretty, it doesn't matter how you cut it. It really does not matter. It's going to be beautiful. And let me be mindful of how much I'm squirting out here. I really don't appreciate having to stop and fix stuff if I don't have to, right? If I hold my mouth right to begin with the first time, I'll be okay. All right, so now we have that, and then we want definitely to put this piece down. Do make sure you put this piece down before you get ready to attach the other part, or you're not going to have some pretty DSP in the background. And you really do need some DSP, even if it's DSP you make yourself, to give yourself some contrast here in your card. Definitely. All right, so we've got that down. Oh, and then I smooshed it. And me unsmooshed it. There we go. All right. Now, when you have this, all you're going to do is just going to have perfect borders all the way around. Top, bottom, both sides. Because those measurements I gave you will be perfect for you to be able to get this in here and get this put down so it's very pleasing, very balanced to the eye. And guys, as soon as we get done with this, I want to show you just a few of the homemade cards that I have gotten. Not every Christmas card I get is a homemade one, and I appreciate the store-bought ones just as much. So I've got this almost ready to put down. And I also stamped the small flower in it. And I stamped off with the Calypso Coral. And then the detail part, I stamped Calypso Coral full strength. But I thought that was a perfect size to help accent the sentiment. And then on the soft seafoam cardstock, I took the Evening Evergreen and stamped that leaf and die cut it. Okay. So let's just kind of lay this here. I found that I kind of, because of that leaf being a little on the long side, I found that I kind of needed to scoot my sentiment down into the lower corner so that I would have plenty of room for my leaf to come out, and I was okay with that. So I'm just going to pick this up. I'm going to get my Tombow, put just a little bit of glue back here. I don't need a whole lot of it for the minute. And I'm still good. I'm not going to be hanging off any. I'm going to tilt that just a hair. Kind of give that a second to sit up. Now I'm going to go ahead and put glue on the back. And we're just going to dot it all the way around. There we go. That's good. That'll hold just fine. We're going to lay that right in there. I may want to come up just a little bit. There we go. And even though this thing has got an irregular shape, I do want to make sure it is straight. Does that make sense? An irregular shape, but I want it straight. Okay, and then we are going to take this now. I totally didn't think about, yeah, see, I'm almost out of dimensionals. I did pop up the flower. So if you do that to yours, be mindful that when you get ready to mail it, either take and put a 1 ounce stamp besides the regular stamp so that it's hand processed, and or you can take and put padding, like I'll put another layer of cardstock over it. And there was one thing I wanted to point out to you too about this flower and when you die cut it. Let me get the stamps back out. This was something that I noticed. So sometimes when you're dealing with these smaller images, it can be kind of hard to know how to line them up, okay? Let me just pull that back. So do you see that kind of like V shape right there in the middle? Let me make sure there's not a glare. Well, there's also that same V shape in your detail stamp. So that is a major clue for you to know how to turn that when you get ready to do that detail stamp, okay? There we go. But that just kind of gives you a head up. The rest of them, obviously, it's pretty obvious how to turn it. But sometimes it's not as obvious on those smaller stamps. So I just kind of wanted to point that out to you. All right, so let me get the cap back on my Tombow. And one more thing that I would like to do to kind of help finish this off. And then we will be done. So I went back to my iridescent pearls. Love them, love them. And I'm going to put one right in the middle of that flower, right there. And I'm going to take one and put it right there. And one and put it right about there. All right, so here we go, guys. What do you think? That didn't take long, did it? Now, you have two choices. You can just simply sign and be done with it and send it as it is, or take another piece of white or even the soft seafoam cardstock, 5 1/4 by 4, put it on the back. There's your handwritten message, and it's all good. Okay, guys, I hope you've enjoyed a sneak peek of the two-tone floral. And just real quickly, I wanted to show you some of these homemade cards that I had gotten. And not everybody uses Stampin' Up! Stuff. Some do, some don't. I don't care. You thought of me enough to send me this card, and so this is awesome. And so this is from my team member, Beth. And she lives out of state, but I was delighted when I got this card. I just thought it was awesome, awesome, awesome. Isn't that pretty? Love it. I'm not going to be opening these so that you can see the back of them, the inside. All right, now this one I will, because do you see this? Do you see how she took and made like a smaller version of a slimline card? She did the partial die cutting and stamping, and look at that. Isn't that cute? That was adorable. So I am going to figure out exactly what she used, maybe from the layering circle dies, but I thought that was so precious. All right, and here is another one. Actually, this one and this one are both from the two women that got me up and going in card making. So thank you, Jama, and thank you, Brenda. Isn't that beautiful? See how easy and simple card making can be? You know, you can mass produce this, but is that not a simply elegant look? I love it. All right, and then you all recognize the Grove dies, and she used the Misty Moonlight cardstock and some beautiful blue jewels. Isn't that precious? Simple but elegant, yet again, okay? Now, this one is made by also a good friend, and I love what she did. I love how she used that Merry Moments embossing folder. She's got some beautiful, beautiful green foil under here. She did the Believe in a green embossing glittery powder. Look at that beautiful little poinsettia and piece of ribbon. Isn't that cute? I don't know where she got those, but it's adorable. And so thank you, Deborah, for that. I love it, love it, love it. And I forgot to say a shout out to Sandy. Thank you so much for that. But look at the card Deborah did, the envelope. Do you see how she also did some glittery heat embossing on the outside of the envelope, and check that out. Look at that wax seal. I think the wax seals are starting to make a comeback, okay? I think they are. And, of course, she had this beautiful, and I don't know how she got that color added on there. I have no idea. I haven't researched about the wax and how to use it to do a wax seal on an envelope, but isn't that so awesome? I'm loving that. Love, love, love it. Okay, guys. And also from Deborah, she gave me at our Christmas party last weekend this beautiful, beautiful bracelet. She is so good at making jewelry. Is that not so pretty? Can you see all the details? And look at how she made the clasp. It's not just a piece of ribbon or twine. It is beads. And she has this beautiful, beautiful attachment on the end to make it so easy to put on and take off, even one-handed. Isn't that awesome? Another friend at the Christmas party gave me a wonderful gift card. Thank you so much for that, Carolyn. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am just more blessed than I can stand. I mean, my blessings are nonstop. And I kind of feel like most of us are that way if we'll just stop and look and pay attention, okay? But until we meet again and I can get another video up for you for next Friday, you all be blessed and you all be safe. And do know that you are loved. God is good all the time. Bye.